Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
How can I help you?
What is your name?
Am I detained?
Well, you are...
I don't have to give it to you, right?
These other officers are familiar with you,
Good.
and they
Good.
are understanding that you've been trespassed here before. Is that correct?
The judge did not find probable cause.
But you have been trespassed. There's a trespass
There is
against you here, correct?
No, because the judge has to find probable cause on it. There's no probable cause. I have a right to be here. I have done nothing illegal, which gives me a right to be here. This lady's name is McHenry.
Then
N-I-N. Nin is her name. This man is Durance. Thank you. And Sergeant Newton. Thank you. And so I have a legal right to be here. You can't violate the law, and you're not just
how
so
did you
you...
get in here?
It's open. I walked through.
Because there's a fence completely covering this entire facility in this stage area.
So, if you don't mind,
This is private property.
So let me explain something real quick. I don't mind if you videotape me or just record it. I can. So my name's Sergeant Newton.
Hi, Sergeant Newton.
This is a concert venue. I understand that you think and you believe this is open to the public, and it is when
Right.
it's open to the public.
And
Hold on,
which is
can I just
which is
can I just finish? And then
not-
I promise I'll hear you.
it's closed
Can I
3
just-
hours before the event
Can
starts.
I just
Go
just
for
get
it.
something in, and then I can hear everything you want to say. All of these gates are up to keep people out for right now. Okay. All we're asking is if you'll just take your laptop, exit there, and we won't have any problems. If you're trying to make
I'm not
stance
trying
on
to
it,
make a
I
point. I'm
understand.
trying to do my homework.
I understand.
Really trying to do my
I
homework.
understand. And we're just trying to make the best decision given the information that we have. So
it's my turn?
Nope,
'Cause
hold
you
on.
need
One more
information?
request. I don't need information. Hold on.
You said you
Hold on,
did. You
hold
were
on,
going to
hold
hear
on,
me.
hold on. All I'm asking is that
Right.
you exit the fenced-in concert venue and continue doing what you're doing. That's
Okay.
it. Will you comply or not? It's a simple yes
So
or
you
no.
said that I would have a chance.
Yes, ma'am. I asked you
Okay,
a question.
great.
If you don't want to answer it, that's fine.
So this in here is open to the public. I cannot put a gate up and say, you can't come in. It's public property. I can't say you can't come in. It's public property. And so they have a contract for
They
this
need
area
Contractor Hall.
that's... Well, it's actually Sound Bay, which is operated by Ruth Eckerd
Correct.
Hall
Yes,
on behalf of the public,
I understand.
okay, on behalf of the city of Clearwater, okay? So they have it 3 hours before an event starts, and at that point, they can shut it down. This, he's told me, and I have it recorded, that this is private property. It's not. He's lying. He's also lying to you. No, you're not bouncers. That's just how that works. You're not. You represent us, the people, and you're here to make sure that people are following the law. And that includes him,
Correct.
not him. He's an officer, but him.
I know who
Sorry.
I just spoke with him.
Yes, his name is Mark Burton Yusuf.
So here's what I'm going to do.
So
I'm going to
I'm-
contact my supervisor.
Fabulous.
Okay? Lieutenant Baginski.
Fabulous.
That's Baginski. I don't know his badge number.
That's
But I'm
okay.
going to call him and see if he has a better understanding regarding
Fabulous.
what information you just provided me. How does that sound?
Fabulous.
Okay.
And
Can you give me a second to walk away for a second?
absolutely.
I'll be right back.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Do
Yes.
you mind keeping your hand out of your pocket? Unless you're okay with me patting you down real quick.
I just took my... Does that help you?
That does help me, but if you don't
Okay.
mind keeping your hand out of your pocket.
I'm going to put my pocket back in my pocket.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Just so you guys know, when they harassed me before when I had a legal right to be here, I'm suing them over it. Officers don't have the right to violate the law. You're not stooges for Ruth Eckerd Hall. Good.
It's not our intention.
Okay, but if it ends up being the outcome, it still becomes an illegal act. And at that point, it is an assault against, it would become assault and battery against, the U.S. Supreme Court says that. I have the case law on it. I don't care if you don't agree with me. When you do a false arrest, that's what it is. It then becomes false imprisonment and kidnapping when you take me. These are the laws of the land. Okay, and U.S. Supreme Court backs it up. This isn't like optional.
What are you working on today? You said you're doing homework?
It's not really relevant, is it?
You're the one who mentioned it.
I'm doing my own thing, is what I'm telling you. It's actually on the Declaration of Independence and about myths that people are putting around it. I'm taking it at Harvard University, one of their 12 schools. It's cool. What I'm finding is that there is an awful lot of hogwash that's going around about this country and whether or not we even are a country and what it means for us to be a country. And if we don't start taking a stand on the little stuff, it gets chipped away. And I don't want it to get chipped away at all. I understand that you are here to protect the people, that you work for a government that works for the people. That's how we work. I keep being called this sovereign citizen stuff. I don't know about that. I know I'm no more sovereign than any of you. And we all have that sovereign citizen thing. We call it being an American. It's pretty simple. That's all it is. And they call me a racist about that stuff, but I guarantee you, every American has that same right, that same exact right. And this is actually what I'm writing about in my paper in my Harvard class right now that I am studying for. And if you take me to jail on it, it's going to hurt my ability to do it. I know you don't have a right to take me to jail. They don't have a right to put that fence up any more than I do. And I don't, because I don't own this land, just like they don't. Those chairs are there so that the yoga class can't participate there.
Do you go to the yoga class?
No. But if I did, I wouldn't want to do it out there where they have the pesticides. And I do work sometimes out there. I can't see my computer out there in the sun, and I can't plug it in out there.
Do you read a lot, or do you look at like documents to get information to write about, or where do you learn from books or?
Depends.
Just curious. You seem to know a lot of information.
Oh, I think I'm very limited in my. Sorry.
That's okay.
I think I'm very limited in my information.
Yeah.
Very limited. I wish I had a lot more. The stuff that we're talking about mainly, outside of what I just said about my class, I learn through law books.
So you're in school?
Yeah.
You're taking college classes?
It doesn't, I can do nothing with my life and have an equal right to be here. All Americans are equal. You don't get to be more of a person or less than a person in this country because of socioeconomic standing or where you're going to school or if you're going to school.
Absolutely.
We are all equal no matter what. So I don't want these things to be used in my favor when the only thing that really matters is the fact that I'm an American citizen on public property while the park is open and I'm in the park.
It wasn't for favor. I think she's just asking to make conversation.
No, you guys want to build a profile and to find out.
Absolutely not. Whether you
No, that's just true.
Difference.
It's true. You're right. It doesn't make any difference. And I know that. So what they're trying, and I want you to know this because you're not walking into this having pre-thought about this, okay? So I want you to have thoughts on it.
I was here with you before. Do you remember?
Yes, I remembered your name. I remembered your name.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure why, and I love that officer. He was fabulous.
And we have no other intentions. We're all under the same understanding of trying to abide the law.
Okay.
The 3-hour thing, we're just figuring out where we stand on
But
that.
the 3-hour thing isn't here, and I don't even think it's today. And so it's not relevant. But they didn't have the right to mark it off any more than I did. What they're doing is encroaching on the land, and I spoke about this before with you and the other officer. Yes. And so they're putting these chairs here so that we can't use it. So that the people who come and do yoga have to be out where the pesticides are. Are you kidding me? So when it's 100, it feels like it's 100 degrees out, they can't even be under the shade. These shouldn't be left here. It takes them a couple hours to get their toys and go home. They have an obligation to do that. But they're trying to take over the land. He's calling it private. I have it on video that he called it private, and he doesn't want people here. Literally, Ruth Eckerd Hall is trying to take over this piece of, and they're blocking it off. You know, like if you have a neighbor and they come and they put their fence on your yard and you don't say anything, it becomes theirs after. That's what they're doing. I don't want them to do that. It is an illegal use of the contract that they have. It's a fraudulent use of the contract that they have. And you guys actually have a legal obligation to do something about that. And I know that you do. I know it's not the kind of thing that you want to pick up that book and look into it and figure out what those laws are. I get it. But that is the reality.
Have you gone to the city meetings?
Yeah, and they won't let me speak. And this is something that you guys are there, and you guys have an obligation to say, hold on, Mayor, you don't have the right to block them from participating in these meetings.
I mean, we as broad, there's a specific unit that's there.
I know, I have seen them.
On what to do and what not to do, so we don't have a part of that.
Okay, it's the police department who aren't enforcing that. All right, so I couldn't bring it up to them. I went twice. I was not able to. They will not let you speak about things that are not on the agenda, which is a total violation of the Florida Sunshine Act. They have to. They have to allow it to be open to the public, because if something's going on in the community, you have the right to tell them about it. That's what they're there for, us. They should want to know.
Have you tried writing them?
I'm kind of busy. This isn't my job. Honestly, your officer in there has an obligation to take care of this. He has an obligation, a legal duty, or else it is misconduct, okay, by an officer. If he sees that crime, which he has, I've told him about, okay, and he said, nope, I work for my, and forgive me if I get these wrong, for my sergeant who works for the corporal, who works for the captain, who works for, who works for the city manager. I'm like, you don't work for the city manager. Yes, I do. Walks out. He doesn't work for the city manager. He works for us, the people. He has no clue. It's like, oh my God. So I'm better off suing you guys for what you're doing and the misconduct, or trying to get rid of you altogether so that they have the sheriffs. I have no interest in doing that, and I don't care, but it's still a point.
And the sheriffs can do the same thing, though. They can trespass anyone from any public park.
That's not the problem here. We're talking about going to the meeting. We're talking about a lack of willingness to do the job. I'm sorry?
You said the sheriff's office can fix it. They have more power than we do.
That's not what I said. Don't switch my words. Actually, the sheriff is the highest authority in any county. So, and that's a fact. So we're talking, you asked me specifically about the meetings and had I gone. Right. And I told you what I experienced.
You went down a rabbit hole. It doesn't matter. I didn't follow.
I didn't go down a rabbit hole. I answered you. He's not doing his job. It's not okay that he's not doing his job. We suffer, not just all of us. Our country, I don't know if you know this, but we're having some problems. And maybe, I understand we've got some globalists that don't think it's a problem, that think that only white people think it's a problem. I get it. It's a problem for every American. And if we lose this country, we all lose it. Period. And then we become a slave state. And they need that to happen because Blackwater has a lot of manufacturing that they want to do. And since we want manufacturing to come back here, they pretty much need to first eliminate the white race, which they're doing. I'm the only white American-born woman in my class at Harvard, of 15 people in the class that I just referenced. The only white American woman. We are completely being genocided. And if we say something about it, it's racism. I'm over it. I have the right to love this country. And I understand none of these things are above your pay grade. You know what the pay grade on this is? Being an American. That's it. It's like super simple. Pretty cool, right? And
You live around here?
none of your business.
How come?
How come it's none of your business? Just because I said it's none of your business.
Right? I guess I'll just wait.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's really hard for me not to do that.
That's all right.
I like putting my hands in my pockets.